Good evening, everyone. We see it more and more every year. Railways attract interest, railways fascinate, and railways bring people together. And this is true at every scale, whether we're talking about everyday trains or those we take for leisure. And until now in the program, we have never spoken about those that we can all own at home. I am, of course, talking about model trains, and here is the ideal place to admire them and understand their secrets. It is located in the canton of Fribourg, Rail 1, behind the scenes at the Kaeserberg Railway.
My passion for little railways began on the 24th of December 1948, because beneath the Christmas tree, a train was going round. I was 8 years old. Until I was 15, it took up a great deal of my time. Then I gave it up. It resurfaced when I was about 35, because with 5 friends, we decided to build a model with 300 meters of track. We worked for 11 years, every Thursday evening from 7:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. This model allowed me to accumulate a huge amount of knowledge, with the idea of maybe building a bigger one someday. During its construction, we received many requests for visits. Too many. Our house was completely overrun. So I told my wife, now we're going to stop these visits, and I'm going to think about building a larger layout that the public can visit. I quickly set to work drawing the plans for the building that would contain this network and the network itself. And after 6 years, I had planning permission. I did all that alongside running the family construction business. Once built, it would take 17 years and 14 skilled people from various trades to complete this model. The network measures 2.1 kilometers of track and extends over 3 levels. The viewer stands before an imaginary Swiss mountain landscape where the weather is fine. We are in early autumn on a Friday in the 1990s. That is very important. And it is 11 a.m. Over 17 years of operation, Kaeserberg would acquire a driving simulator, much used by our visitors. Its visitor route has just received a major transformation. I am very happy to have been able, up to today, to share my passion with very nearly 250,000 visitors. And I look forward to continuing the adventure with the whole team around me.
Hello, Cyril.
Hi, Tim.
How are you?
Very well.
Can you introduce yourself and tell us who you are?
I'm Cyril Schmutz. At Kaeserberg, I mainly look after the model. Everything to do with the maintenance, operation, construction, so mainly the model.
How does a typical day here at Kaeserberg start?
It starts by switching on the model. So here we are in front of the control desk, and we can see that the trains are currently lost, because the model is not switched on electrically.
So how exactly do you start up this model?
Well, the system is centralized here. We switch on the whole electrical section behind us over there. And then we wait for the system to come into service. The trains will appear on the different screens, and we're able to begin operations.
At the moment, the trains are not on the model. It has to be filled. How does that work?
Well, they can be found almost everywhere. Most of them are in the main station, but there are about 10 still in the model, in different places. We have this drawback here because of the interior lighting in the trains, which in the morning are flat, So first we have to let them do a circuit to charge the batteries that are inside each train.
And all these trains that you have to bring back onto the model, do you have to drive them one by one?
No, luckily everything is automatic.
While these trains are moving into position, do you have other things to check directly on the model?
There are always a few small things to prepare and check just to make sure we're ready when the first visitors arrive.
Thanks, Cyril. We'll let you start up this magnificent model. We're going to go watch the trains run.
All right, here we go. The system is starting up. It'll take a few seconds. Now we switch on the H0. And now we go back to the narrow gauge side to activate the signals. And the same thing on the standard gauge side. And we activate the signals. Now we can see that our trains have come back. They're all clearly visible on the diagrams. And straight away, I'm going to launch the first trains. And here we go. The system automatically sends the trains out, and we can see that train 103 is the first to depart and head on to the model. This train 103 is a Eurocity with DB stock, SBB, FS and DB coaches with a green RE66.
Railway modelling aims to reproduce trains, lines and their scenery on a reduced scale. Born in the 19th century with a few local manufacturers, it has evolved greatly to reach its modern form. Standards now allow trains of different brands to run together and on the same scale, which was not always possible before. Let's talk about scale. A train that you take every day is at 1/1 scale, that is its normal size. There are dozens of different scales that have evolved over time. They are generally represented by letters or figures. Here are the most common nowadays. Firstly, there is HO or H0 with a scale of 1 to 87. This means that the train is 87 times smaller than the real one. It is the most widespread scale in the world. H0 is an abbreviation and it actually means half zero. Scale 0 was the most popular at a time when it was still difficult to miniaturize motors. Above that, we find G-scale and Scale 1, commonly known as garden railways. Smaller than H0 this time, there are TT, N and Z, with layouts that can fit into a suitcase and locomotives the size of a finger. As for operation, model trains run mostly thanks to electricity flowing through the rails to power the motor. Two major systems exist: 2-rail direct current DC and 3-rail alternating current AC, the latter using a center rail and a metal pickup shoe under the locomotive. Finally, when it comes to control, two eras coexist. Historically, layouts were analog. Speed was adjusted with a transformer by playing with the voltage and the direction of the current. Today, the electricity in the rails can also send digital commands. Each locomotive has a unique address, like a name, and a small built-in decoder. It is this that receives the instructions and carries them out. In this way, several trains can be controlled at the same time on the same track.
hi, Richard.
Hi, Matthias.
How are you?
Very well, thanks.
Thanks for having me here.
No problem.
It looks amazing. I'm really curious. Where are we?
So, we are here at the control desk of Kaeserberg's main station. In fact, the town in front of us is called St. Jakobstadt, and it is from here that the station master does as he pleases.
So the station master controls the trains, I suppose? Are those the lights we see here?
Yes, what we have in front of us are the trains that are moving and those that are stationary. Each train is detected when it is moving. When it has a route or is moving, the lamps are yellow. And when it is stationary, that is train occupancy, so it is red.
I see. So this panel is for manual control or automatic control?
The panel we have here was part of the original idea. It allows us to operate the trains manually.
Okay, so you actually operate things here.
I set routes. I set the routes I want. It is really me who decides where such and such a train goes.
Can you show us?
Of course. I look at the station in front of me. I look at the POW and I decide which train I want to send and where. In this case, I have something on track 4 here, the 4th track from the building, the H0 platform. I press the button corresponding to the train and where I'm going to send it. I press both buttons simultaneously and the points move while flashing. And once the route is set, the yellow comes on, the green signal comes on, and the train leaves.
It's actually quite simple in the end, but that's also part of the magic of this place.
But at the same time, if I want to have nice traffic flow, here I have blue areas. These are remote controls. So I have a station behind me, the second station, and the train that has left, I have actually sent to the second station. And so that it does not stop at the entrance to the second station, I have already set its entry into it. It is not yet shown, but I know it. It will come from here. It is announced, train 218.
That's its train number, 218.
And I set the entry for it. Again, the switches move, it gets its route, the signal turns green, and it enters the station.
You're really making me want to try. Can I do something?
Sure, you can try. So the right button is
This one here, C86.
C86, and then one of these two, depending on where you want to send it.
Can I do the one at 3 so that it crosses everything? There, so I just give it a very light press.
And then you have the response immediately.
And it's moving.
Yes, the switches move, the route is set.
The signals are open, the signal is green, and the train leaves.
That's the principle.
Wow, that's incredible.
And there you are. So we have visitors, and the idea is we don't run through a strict timetable because we try to run as much as possible.
I guess this position is also quite strategic. There's clearly a desire to share this with the public who come to see you.
Exactly. That way the public can see what we are doing, and they can observe.
And besides this panel, you have all the surveillance cameras, you still have 2 or 3 screens, and then you are in contact with your colleagues. So in the end, everything is coordinated beyond this post?
Everything is coordinated. It is mainly to have the best possible traffic flow. We have a view of the trains available because there are hidden stations. I look at what trains I have. There are some that we recognize very well, others rather less well. The display is mainly a question of habit. I press again where it is on the button. I'm going to send it to the entrance to the station.
And we can see it arriving over there.
We can see it coming.
Exactly. It looks fascinating. I think I'll stay here. I'll leave the show to the others. Thank you very much, Richard.
You're welcome. It's a
See
pleasure.
you soon at Rail 1.
See you soon. Thank you.
Hello, Olivia.
Hello, Christoph.
Since the start of this program, we have met several members of the Kaeserberg team. Can you tell us how a visit at Kaeserberg unfolds?
So we open at 9:30 a.m. Visitors begin to arrive. The first visit is at 10 a.m. Then a visit starts every 20 minutes until 3:40 p.m. And then we close at 5 p.m. People can simply visit, and they can also get refreshments. We have a cafeteria area with things for sale, little coffees, little snacks. So people can stay as long as they want all through the opening day.
So the tours start at set times?
Yes, every 20 minutes. We have 30 places per tour departure. And that allows a bit of a flow like that through the model. Not too many people at the same time. The visit begins with a short film that tells something of the dream of Kaeserberg's designer, Mr. Antiglio. After this short film, people pass behind a curtain. They find themselves in the model. And there they can visit the network. They can look at all the information we have to read, to hear. They do the visit freely after this short film. The visit lasts about 1 hour, 1 hour 30 minutes. Some people, the enthusiasts, stay a little longer. But otherwise, it lasts about 1 hour 30 minutes to see everything.
And is it open every day?
No, we are not open every day. We are open about 100 days a year. Those are the days marked in yellow on our website because they are also variable days. It is not always the same weekdays or weekends, so you really have to check. It is important. And then the other days when it is closed are either for maintenance, because we still have several weeks a year reserved for maintenance of the model in particular. And then we also have days that we keep for private visits.
So private visits mean it's possible to book Kaeserberg for a private event or for a company?
Yes, exactly. We can welcome a group for a visit in the morning, in the afternoon, even in the evening, followed or not by a meal or refreshments. We make it private, that is to say they are alone and they asked for what they want, and in general we meet their request.
And where can people find this information?
On our website, kaeserberg.ch, they can also send us an email with their request or simply give us a call.
Thank you, Olivia, and see you soon on Rail 1.
See you soon. Thank you.
Before arriving at the model and its beautiful landscapes, we pass here beside the train storage area, commonly known as the hidden station. But here it is clearly visible. Hello, Canton.
Hello, Christoph.
Can you explain what this area is used for?
Well, as you said, it is an area used to store all the trains that run on our model. So each train has its place down here, and it waits before running on the network.
We saw with Matisse that the upper area is operated manually. Is it the same here?
No, here, during normal operation, everything runs automatically. We only intervene if there's a problem or if we want to change something specific.
How many trains are there on the network?
Trains that are running at the moment, we have about a dozen for H0 and just under 10 for H0M.
And if we include the ones in a hidden station?
In total, we have around 120 trains.
Is this some kind of rotation so visitors don't always see the same trains?
Yes, indeed. We have a category system. Each train has a category, and then when a train leaves here in the depot, it sends off a train of the same category, so a train that resembles it. That allows for a mixture, and then to have a bit of all of the kinds of trains that we have here at Kaeserberg.
Do you know how far the trains travel each year?
It's a bit difficult to calculate the distance, but we do track the operating hours. On average, each train runs about 200 hours per year.
That must require quite a bit of maintenance.
Yes, it is quite a lot of work, because the train wheels have to be cleaned, the rails, and then the trains also have to be dusted. So once a year we clean everything, and otherwise we clean from time to time when the need arises. So here, this is our cleaning system for train wheels. All the trains that come down pass over this cleaning bench. Here, the system moistens the felt pad with alcohol. The tank and the pump right here. The first pad is dampened to loosen the dirt, and then the second pad dries the train wheels. And now we have train that's about to arrive.
There we go. The train slows down as it passes over the cleaner. Once it's through, it returns to its normal speed. The system stops and waits for the next train.
And what happens if there's suddenly a problem during operation?
If a locomotive breaks down or can no longer move forward, each train has a spare locomotive. That allows us to go and replace the locomotive relatively quickly on the model so that the train can continue running.
Thank you, Canton. See you on rail 1.
Thank you.
Where are we going down to? Where did these stairs lead, Heinz?
We're about to reach the locomotive, the AE66 Baselland.
I've never been inside a locomotive before.
So it's your first time?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, you can climb in.
Me first?
Oh, yes, of course.
Here we go.
Put the reverser forward. The signal is open for 60 kilometers an hour, and the departure authorization is lit. And now turn to the right to the 8th notch. The departure signal is now open with 60 kilometers per hour.
Can I turn the wheel to go faster?
Yes, yes, you must keep it 60. Now the question is, do we dare run on the right track? Normally we run on the left.
So why are we already on the right?
That's called bidirectional running. We can run on the right-hand track or on the left-hand track, depending on operations. And we can normally run on the right-hand track when the signal is open.
And why am I still not at 60? I'll increase it.
You've already passed 60, though now you can go up to 75. And here we're crossing the beautiful Canton Viaduct. Set the controller back to 0.
Tell me, Heinz, where exactly are we? What is this place?
We are in the cab of an AE66 locomotive. It is number 11409, Baselland. The owner wanted to buy a locomotive and put it in the garden, but he could not obtain a complete locomotive. He bought only one cab from this loco 11409. It is an absolutely original cab which really did run on the rails at the time. You see that? If you don't acknowledge it, the train will stop.
And this simulator is very realistic. It feels like the real thing with all the controls.
I say yes, but in principle it is the customer who has to say whether it matches reality or not. With the images, with the driving, we can create faults here. We can do everything with it.
I think it really feels like the real thing, even if I don't know everything. There are still many levers, controls, and gauges that I don't recognize.
Yes, that's true.
And for people wanting to come and try this simulator, is that possible?
It is possible, yes, of course. Yes, it is for customers. Besides, we can travel either Spiez-Brig or else Lausanne-Bern in 3 hours. But that is almost complete locomotive training. Or else we can do 40 minutes between Fribourg and Bern. A 40-minute journey.
And when it
Careful, careful.
Good thing we're in a simulation, otherwise we might have ended up in the scenery.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Thank you very much anyway, Heinz. I'll keep practicing.
You're welcome.
Our first day is drawing to a close and the whole team has taken enormous pleasure in filming this program. We hope you have enjoyed it. And as a reminder, Kaeserberg Foundation that you can visit in Grange-Packard in the canton of Fribourg. All the information is on kaeserberg.ch. We look forward to seeing you very soon for new adventures on Rail 1. Until then, have a wonderful evening. Bye.